and then people around the con could be using it. The other category is sort of the hobby. If you soldered it together yourself, and if it involves servo motors, it's probably in the second category, where I would like to be able to send a few characters. Ideally, I would like to be able to send a sentence or two, error-free or reasonably error-free, to where someone could read the sentence and know what it meant. Pretty much as useful as a telegraph. Let's set that as the bar of usability for the second category. There is no minimum or maximum speed. There is no minimum or maximum length. One-hop entries will be considered. There may be honorable mentions. If you can do one hop of data transmission that's really absurd or really cool, or no one ever dreamed of it before, hey, you might get something for it. At the very least, you'll get recognition and get to play with a bunch of other similarly minded creative people with other similar gear, and hopefully join them all together.
Or as the case may be, very dissimilar gear.
True. There was something else. Yes?
Maybe a forum maybe for next year? Because I heard a lot of people talking about taking parts and, I don't have this part, I don't have that part.
There is a forum. It's forums.nauticon.org. You may have heard of it.
Is there a section for the...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. There's a big old thread called Anything But Ethernet, Create a Team. And the first message in there says something to the effect of, since a lot of people might not have enough gear to put together an entire entry of their own, this thread should serve as a way for people to link up and work together and put together something really amazing. I think it got one post. So people read these rules and they say, man, that's going to be cool. I'm going to watch that. Or they say, man, I could do something for that, but I don't have the time. And I know that's not the case. You do have the time.
I mean, you came here.
And you do have the creativity. And all you have to do is have the drive to throw it in the car and put it together and make it work.
In fact, we're reasonably sure that some of the entries were literally just the contents of somebody's living room thrown in the car.
Something like that. So, hypothetical ideas. Who wants to enter what next year? Because there's this setup out in the hallway. Calvin, what's his name, has been soldering together these intricate little, they're like solder sculptures. They're copper and brass, and they roll marbles down ramps. There was a question in chat a couple weeks ago about, will there be room for a train? I said, what kind of a train? They said, model train. Oh, okay, yes, we can accommodate a model train. And he doesn't have it working yet, and rather than enter something that's not reliable, he's decided to work on it for another year. But he assures me that if at all possible, he'll have a train next year, where he's got little hopper cars that accept marbles. He's got like 4 spaces within the car for marbles to be or not be. And then they're going to zip around the table and dump the marbles, which will interpret those bits. And, like 2 passes will make 8 bits or something like that. Maybe multiple cars per train. I really can't wait to see this. That's going to be glorious.
If I could interject for just a brief moment.
Please do.
I will tell you about the status of Anything But Ethernet after I'm done talking about it a little bit.
What I wanted to do this year was to try to get those events sponsored so we can have some real prize money, because I know that people put a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and their own money into this event. And unfortunately, this year we were unsuccessful. We're still going to try to make it worth the winner's while to have put this effort in. So if you have any suggestions or any link-ups at like Home Depot or Best Buy or any company that likes a lot of really cool, weird engineering, I'd love to get this sponsored, just like DEF CON could get their wireless shootout sponsored, which is really cool, but not as cool as this. So, I'm open to ideas. If you have any, please ping me after the con. But I think it's my goal next year to get this contest sponsored by somebody, out there, so we can get some real prize money there and really...
Real publicity.
Yeah.
I'd like to see...
Publicity and prizes and...
20 or 30 entries in here. We can make space if y'all show up.
Yeah, I'll make space. I intend on actually getting all the rooms on the second floor next year, so we can have a couple of them dedicated to Anything But Ethernet. 2 reasons. Number one, we can lock them up at night. kind of have like a little sandbox where people don't have to tear down and set up, because I noticed there's a lot of that this year, and I feel really bad. Like Strider's been working in there, had to tear down and set up and was worried about his stuff. I think that's really important, just to get a nice sandbox area. So do you think that's...
I think that's wonderful.
All right.
More space is good because, being in the network room is great. People can wander by and see what's going on, but there's a lot of network room stuff happening.
Yeah, and considering how
How many people have hit the con suite, which if
you haven't been up there, there's more balls up there. So it's our last case, which I don't expect it to last more than 5 seconds after this talk. But I think
they want us to wrap this up soon.
Oh.
So I'll have...
And Mike back, thank you.
All right. Yeah, sponsorship would be great. I keep thinking Digium would be a natural fit for this.
Yeah.
If they have some like FXS over Morse code adapters they could donate as prizes, that'd be great. Any sort of if you know anyone that's into maybe art, maybe communication. Yeah, seriously, talk to Froggy, talk to me. We'll try to set up some sponsorship or some publicity or something. And get this the attention I think it deserves. It's, maybe I'm one to talk, but I think it's one of the coolest contests I've ever seen. And all it needs is more entries.
And we will have a final call on who the winner is by
Yes.
closing ceremonies tomorrow?
By closing ceremonies, if there is a winner, we will announce it then.
Yes.
I think the rules mention something about there may be a prize for honorable meltdown. Given some of the noises Clicky's been making, well, I don't want to jinx it, but we'll see. Paul's back there going like this. So, all right, I think that's it. How are we on time?
I have no idea.
You got like 10 minutes at least.
Oh, well,
Okay.
hey.
Yeah, more
Q&A?
questions? We're open to them.
Tell you what, I don't know if we have to run the hour out. If y'all want to wander next door and check out some of these machines, you have to see these things, and you have to get their creators to explain how they work. That's the fun part.
Yep.
All right, that's it.
Thanks, guys.
Most difficult challenge of your show? For me, personally, the most difficult challenge initially was hosting. Finding a place to put the show. Because we started out, a friend of mine was like, yeah, sure, I'll host your show on my server or whatever. Not expecting, anything big to come out of it. And like the first few episodes, we got a lot of downloads and ran his bandwidth out. And so he was like, yeah, I know I told you I'd host it for free and everything, but I'm not, and you have to pay me now. I'm not going to host it, you have to pay me for everything because you've done.
Let's see also the 75 meg per show download.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically, but I guess if you catch on to the smaller file size, it won't be such an issue. But finding, yeah, I still, yeah. I mean, I still haven't paid him for it, but yeah, I still talk to him, so.
Trying to find the time between work and, all the other stuff that you gotta do to actually live and continue living, finding time to sit down and do all the same stuff that I do.
Well, actually, one of the things that
I've got Mountain Dew and Tostitos over here, and the Hacker Media Panel thing is getting a little bland, and I'm getting really bored.
How far back will it go? Let's swing it around.
Roll over.
0.7 volts in reverse direction. CTS line, when it's down, sends your sync. Your transmit line sends your screen signal, and you get stuff on screen.
Based on ID, I don't know, like 500.
And of course, due to the granularity of the timings, you get the jitter on the screen. Not much you can do about that. Possibly if you're using the trailer part, you could do grayscale. I'll leave that up to the user.
Are you racing by accident?
Homework.
You cut it out, then you saved over it.
That's what the accident.
Semicolon.
Can we do a shell script with the...
Is that?
Semicolon?
Yes.
Cause too much communication. Low power noise. Yeah, we need an isolation transformer to truly power this.
Run isolation down the elevator. I mean, they gotta have isoflux somewhere. Just like
It's bigger. I don't know.
yeah.
I don't really know.
I mean, it is.
I thought we had some in some other buildings.
This is the not ugly version. There were 2 choices, ugly and broken. It's just broken.
Actually, I think it ended right
Oh, that should import the whole line.
The what?
Wall of Shame is back. Excellent.
I have no idea.
Oh, that'd be scary.
Not a good person. No.
Yeah, so
It looks like they're very talented. They're just calling up numbers.
they're doing Rappaport. We actually at the third place by the White House that had gas stations. That one does not. We actually at the third place by the White House that had gas stations. That one does not.